Do you like posters? Of course you do, you big dingus. Then head on over to Displayed. Currently, if you use the code BLACK this Black Friday weekend, you can get 33% off any poster. Using my link in the description below will go towards supporting my channel. A humongous thank you to Displayed. Hello, you sexy biscuits, and welcome back into Kingdom Come Deliverance. So recently I posted a video talking about the fact that Kingdom Come Deliverance has got its last patch. Now, of course, this is a major milestone. This is the last thing we're ever going to get for the game, and now I would class the game as being complete because there's nothing else coming to it apart from mods. So what I wanted to do with this video was take a look back over all of the patch notes and look at some of the silly ones and more memorable patch notes that I ever read, because some of these are ridiculous and hilarious. Also, it's kind of interesting seeing the development of the game. So there's something I never talked about on the channel, and that is the Day 1 patch, version 1.1. So something interesting here is the fact that this was the version that most reviewers were supposed to review, but there were actually some who didn't and reviewed the original 1.0 release. And of course, they missed out on some pretty interesting things. Persuasion UI. So that wasn't even in the game until it was released. So if you bought the disc, I'm guessing, of this game without any internet, you wouldn't have had the bartering persuasion system. I remember back in the day when you would buy a PS2 game, let's say, everything would just be on the disc. That was it. You had the final release. And in some ways, I wish it would go back to that system. But I understand that obviously games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they take a lot of time to work on even after release. So in addition to everything else, this added in multiple new events to the open world, so I'm guessing like the random encounters and stuff like that. I'm wondering if maybe that was stuff like the riddle guy, or maybe the guy who was blatantly taken out someone and who's like, no, I never did this, it was you. That has to be one of my favourite ones. So version 1.31 released all the way back in March of 2018, and it added the ability to save and exit. I remember this. I remember because you would have an exit button, but it wouldn't save. And I remember reading quite a few comments of people who said that they'd got to a certain point and had quit the game and lost like 2 hours of content. That is absolutely crazy. Looking back on it now, I always assumed it was just always in the game, but no, I actually remember that. Improved lockpicking. You sure? I know that was worked on a lot later. It was actually in a recent patch where they finally gave you some different ways of doing it, but the lockpicking has always been incredibly difficult unless you're using mouse and keyboard, where it's incredibly easy. Oh my god, I remember this one. Your horse shouldn't get stuck when jumping fences. Does anyone else remember the diagonal horses? You'd have the back legs up in the air over the fence. I always thought that was bloody hilarious. You can sleep on beds without having to sit down first. Yeah, you had to sit on the bed first, which, if Kingdom Come Deliverance was going for this full realism, makes sense, because you would sit on a bed first unless you threw yourself onto it. But yeah, you had to sit down first, and there was a bit of a pause between each animation, and I got to admit, it was kind of bothersome, so I'm really glad they added that. Oh my god, 1.34 added NVIDIA Ansel. I did a whole video on NVIDIA Ansel, link in the description below. It's one of the silliest videos I ever did. I put a cat in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was the best thing ever. Select sticker. Oh yes! Hello! Meow! Also, this fixed one of the biggest things I ever had in my comment section. Not mods on consoles. No, this was the random encounters during fast travel, because for a lot of people, they never happened to anyone. And they finally fixed this in patch 1.34. Holy crap, okay, this is something that people still don't know about. That is the fact that you can change your hairstyle and beards in bathhouses in patch 1.4. I still get comments to this day asking, hey Roxy, where did you get that fancy hairstyle? Some people don't even know that this exists. Now, if I remember correctly, this happened around the Easter update. I'm pretty sure this was the Easter update, and it added in this feature, and no one talked about it. I think it may have been in the trailer, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this was something that, till this day, I still think people may not even know. So yeah, go to the bathhouse and create your own Henry. Oh, Resurrection Day is upon us. Some NPCs that died due to physics glitches have risen from their graves. Yeah, that was a good day. I got back quite a few people. You know what? Looking at patch 1.4, this was actually kind of big because it also added in the unarmed mercy kill, which is obviously something I use quite a lot now. This was quite a important update, not in terms of the number of bugs it fixed, but in terms of the little things it added. I'm also kind of sad they didn't bring back Easter eggs this year. Well, there's always next year, eh, Warhorse? You can always get someone off of Kingdom Come 2 to work on some Easter eggs. Patch 1.42 from April of 2018, attacking sometimes stops working. You know what? I actually had that happen to me. I remember I was in the middle of combat and I just couldn't do anything. I remember this was a thing, and I'm really, really glad they fixed that. This was also the one with the random characters spinning while blocking. So you'd be fighting someone and they'd just be stood on the spot spinning really, really, really fast. Well, I thought it was quite a cool tactical maneuver, but you know. Patch 1.43, cutscene after completion of questions and answers quest now triggers properly. I had so many comments about this quest around this time, and that was because you'd complete the quest and then nothing would happen. It would either just be a black screen with a loading symbol or just nothing at all. But no, they fixed it, thankfully. Oh, patch 1.5, one of the biggest I think we ever got, update-wise, and this was the one that made guards stop dropping halberds. Now, this oddly never happened to me, but I saw quite a few pictures and videos of all these halberds just rolling down Ratine. It was one of the silliest bloody things. And also, they deleted all of the previous ones that had been spawned in, so you didn't have to worry about them being in the game still. I remember this one made me laugh. Executioner Herman no longer keeps beating the player unconscious when he's angry. You just walk past him and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm angry. I'm gonna go beat up that guy," and he'd just come over and knock you out. Ah, that was one of the best. You didn't even have to do anything. He'd just walk up to you and punch you in the face. There's one thing from patch 1.6, apart from the hardcore mode, which was added in this one, but it's the fact that crouching does not immediately trigger stealth music. I gotta admit, it was really annoying trying to record videos, and I start sneaking, and then it would start playing this bloody Pink Panther style music. So you'd just be there like, doo-doo, doo-doo. Do-do, 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 I'm Henry. God. And this is the one I was talking about in my last video. Patch 1.7, inflating breasts of sitting women have now been resolved. Sorry, guys. Oh, that was one of my favourites. Yeah, this was one of the really random ones. Why did this suddenly come about after so long? I don't understand it. Also, fix a rare issue which caused a guard to evict a player from the jail for trespassing. Wait, so... hang on a minute. So they'd throw you in jail and then turn around and go, "Oi, what are you doing here? Get out." Oh, that's fantastic. Patch 1.71, guards will no longer attempt to frisk you during an active tournament. I had this happen, actually. When I think I did my first tournament, I went in there, and there was this guard who would not leave me alone. He kept pulling me out of the bloody tournament. It was the most annoying thing. Oh, of course. So this was around the time of the amorous adventures of the Bolzer Hands. Now this... was the fact that there was an entire part of this DLC that not many people actually played, because for some reason when they released this DLC, you of course had the Hands Capon part of it, but you also had this really big part with the Charlatan, and there was this whole quest that didn't load for people. Because I remember when the DLC was released, I had multiple comments on the same day of people saying they completed the DLC. And I remember thinking, well, that's bloody quick. So, no, that was actually not the case. There was an entire part of this DLC which for some reason didn't work for everyone. But of course, that was fixed. So if you played The Amorous Adventures when it first released, go back and see if you can now play the Charlatan quest, because there's quite a lot of stuff there. Patch 1.81. Pruda no longer comes to the tournament undressed. Oh, I would have loved to have seen that. During combat, chickens no longer walk around in the arena. Oh, this is the best thing. Okay, something weird definitely was going on here, because From the Ashes DLC also got a fix. Sir Divish no longer undressed in final cutscene if player invited him to Primishlavitz while he slept. So if you got him to come over, he would be in his nightie. Oh, wow. Oh, that's brilliant. NPCs no longer collide with outhouses when using them. So one of my other favourite ones here from patch 1.81 is added lamps and other lights in taverns make it easier to see dice at night in the dice minigame, because the only other way you could really do it was by turning on your torch before you sat down. But they actually added a little tiny little light there so you guys could see, and I loved that. That was really, really neat, and I'm probably one of the only people who bloody plays the dice game. I'm addicted to it. Thinking about it, patch 1.81 may have been my favourite because it also added in some inns players can find a cast of gamblers who have special dice and more money to lose, because I love the dice minigame and it got a load of love in this update. And patch 1.90 is the last major patch we got for the game. Now this added in quite a lot. This is added in, of course, the dating with Teresa. It added in the dog. There was quite a lot of stuff that, of course, patch 1.9 came with. Now this also came with the Woman's Lot DLC, and that is a pretty big DLC. They also added in bandit pets, which I really liked. They wouldn't let go of your bloody arm though, you'd have to hit them in the face multiple times. Also, new first-person dialogue camera was added, which I quite liked. If you haven't played the game since this patch was released all the way back in, I think, May, you need to. It is really bloody good. Also, as a content producer, this was also pretty fantastic because it also added the ability to change graphic settings a lot faster. Because I go in and I modify stuff to make the game run as best as possible for you guys. So if I was going through changing certain things for different videos, it would take about a minute, maybe even two, to load one graphic setting. Like, it took a while. Now, it's pretty bloody instantaneous. And after this patch, I would say the game ran a lot better. I think this was possibly the best in terms of optimization. NPC dying during combat makes correct dying sound. Yeah, for some reason, Warhorse before this had this really weird noise when enemies died. It went something like, and for some reason they put that in the game. I don't know why. Maybe don't play the game when that's in there because you'll just crack up laughing. And I think that's it. I think we've pretty much caught up to where we are now. I really enjoyed doing the patch note videos. I really enjoyed doing them, and I know it's kind of a small thing, but I liked going through them and finding the silly ones and hopefully making you guys laugh. Because not many people actually go out of their way to look up patch notes, so I hope I was somewhat informative. So I want to thank the couple of people who commented asking for this video. This is for you, because I saw you guys in the comments, so I was like, oh my god, yes, I need to do that. Kingdom Come may be done, but Deliverance, sorry, I couldn't think of a rhyme there. Kingdom Come may be done, but it still has a life. It still has a life in mods and its fantastic community. And that's all of you. The people who watch my videos, the people who watch Warhorse Studios videos, the people who go out of their way to buy multiple versions of this game. I had someone email me actually a couple of days ago with this amazing box that they'd created, and they had all of the games in there. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to do that, just in case they don't want their name mentioned, but I want to say thank you to them. And this box is incredible because they had the different regions of the game, and they brought the collector's edition of the different versions of the Royal Edition. I think that's bloody crazy. Like, I've seen quite a few people send me pictures and stuff of their setups, and it's like, wow, you guys put me to shame in terms of your love for this game, and that makes me smile so much. Yeah, KCD is a way of life at this point. I absolutely bloody love it, and I hope this video made you laugh. And also I wanted to say again, thank you to Displate. They aren't sponsoring me in any way, it's just that every single purchase that you guys make goes towards the channel. So that really does help, and it's kind of, right now it is definitely needed because I'm thinking of moving, and that's obviously going to be a pretty big thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, but until next time, that's me, bye guys.